Hello friends, this is Dagmar, the spiritual healer, teacher, speaker, author, and your guide throughout the spiritual world of the unseen, helping people achieve freedom of the soul, unleash your soul purpose, and helping you live your divine destiny. And of course, with all these videos, helping you gain clarity on certain subjects. So today I really want to talk to you about the exciting subject of ascension and ascension symptoms. And specifically, I will go into what is ascension, what do the twin flames, what role do they play in the ascension process, what are the symptoms of ascension, and most of all, what can we personally do as we're experiencing some of these things in ascension. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and also hit the bell button so that you get notified of any new videos I do. If you like this video, hit the like button, and or if you have any comments, would like to leave anything that you wish to say, or any suggestions you may have for me in terms of making videos, please leave in the comment section below. I will read them all. So anyway, let's get started into the ascension issue. So what is ascension? You know, you may or may not have heard of it. Ascension is basically a very great energetic shift that we are actually in the process of experiencing for the last number of years, actually, where the vibration on our planet is actually gradually increasing since what I understand to be since 2003. And we are the idea is that we're actually moving into a higher dimension, which means a high vibration, a lot less density, different way of being. You may have heard of, perhaps some people talk about living a love-based life instead of a fear-based life or fear-based existence. And there are so many more different changes that we're undergoing, which I wanted to talk to you guys about. Some of the changes that we've been experiencing, for example, that you may actually relate with, is there's been a lot of shifting or movement to reconnecting with our spiritual self, all right, to reconnecting with our power, and to really trust more of ourselves rather than the external authorities from us. For example, even like with the medical industry, we're starting to really take matters into our own hands. We're starting to trust our higher self guidance. And I know this has been true specifically for me, and I've seen other people do that as well. So we're actually not trusting those doctors so much anymore, but we're trusting ourselves and our guidance, and getting far, far better results than we get with doctors. In fact, quite often the big change has also been that with the ascension symptoms that we're experiencing, that we may go to the doctor because of some ache and pain in our body, and the doctor can't find anything wrong with us. And that's been happening a lot too, and that's because there is nothing physically wrong with us. It's coming from a spiritual part of ourselves, and it's part of the ascension process, and I'll go more into depth into what that is or how that works. But quite often, if you are experiencing, and I've seen that with my clients as well, they've gone, one client experienced so much pain in her abdomen that she actually went to the emergency room before she came to see me. Well, they couldn't find anything. She went several times, different ultrasounds and MRIs and x-rays, and there was nothing there. And yet I did 4 healing sessions with her and was able to eliminate that pain. It had nothing to do with any physical stuff. It had to do with spiritual stuff, emotional stuff. So I'm just saying, you may be in that position. I've seen someone else in that position where they're experiencing things where they're running to the doctor, and the doctor can't for themselves figure out what the heck's wrong with them. And so that's one change that you are seeing throughout this energetic shift we're moving through. The other one is that we have a tendency as a soul to want to thrive instead of just survive. It was in the past where it was good enough for us to have a job, to, make a certain amount of money to make a living, and that was enough. Now, our soul wants to thrive. It wants to do more. It wants to be more significant. It wants to be in full expression of who we are, bringing our light into the world. That's become utterly important in this whole energetic shift as one of the big changes. And so we really, we're having this desire that we've never had before of wanting to do more, wanting to, really express ourselves and who we are, bringing forth our gifts, embracing our gifts, and so forth. So that's one other huge change that we are undergoing as a result of this ascension process. The other aspect is also spiritually awakening. And I see a lot of people awakening spiritually. Actually, I myself have awakened spiritually as a result of my twin flame. When we first met, he actually caused me my spiritual awakening. And, you may find that your twin flame is also helping you awaken spiritually. And we're becoming more consciously aware. We're expanding our conscious awareness, if you will, of things, of the world, of how we see things, about our bodies, about everything. We're becoming more consciously aware. And so that's also part of this big energetic shift. And also the increased desire for more wellness in our being, for more wellness for our planet. That's been also a big change that's been happening throughout this big energetic shift. And so, it's been very interesting to observing that. And, some of these things you may relate with. And and it's not just for some people. I mean, we're all going through the process. Now, some of us may be more awakened to it than others. Some of us may be wondering what the heck's going on, while others are a little bit more aware as to what's going on. But that's why I'm putting out the video out here. So, what is the role of the twin flame in the whole process of, this ascension, right? And so I find that twin flames are really coming together, have been coming together by record numbers in the recent years, for the purpose of helping each other in this ascension process, by basically helping each other trigger or mirror the things that we need to resolve on the soul level so that we can actually rise higher in vibration personally. While our planet is rising in vibration, it doesn't mean necessarily that we automatically are, because the one critical aspect here is that we need to offload our karma and our unresolved pain, which has a certain amount of heaviness to our soul, which keeps us in the low vibrations. And so it's up to us to really kind of offload that, if you will, okay? And I'll talk a little bit more about it. But so twin flames actually have been huge in helping us do that by basically forcing us, so to speak, into a position of, where we just don't see any other way out but to heal, and the process of healing, we can offload our karma, properly integrate our unresolved baggage, and so therefore we are helping ourselves in terms of rising through this whole ascension process into the higher vibrations. So the twin flames have been very integral part of, making it happen. And, but it's not just limited to being in a twin flame relationship, okay? If you're not in a twin flame relationship, you're still in the process of ascension like everybody else, all right? It's just that twin flames have a tendency to speed everything up because of the mirror effect between twin flames and how much they can trigger us to show us where we need to work on ourselves so that we can rise in vibration, if you will, okay, and grow from it. So that's basically the role that twin flames play. So it's a huge role that they play. And I have to say that for me, it was very critical that my twin flame woke me up And he's the reason for why I do what I do today. Basically, I had to heal myself every step of the way to be able to do what I'm doing today because of, many past life persecutions I've had, and, lots of pain and fear I've developed around, using my abilities as a clairvoyant or psychic and as, a healer. And so I at some point drew the curtains on all that, and to the point where I didn't even know I had those abilities at all in this life until my twin flame woke me up to it. And so it's a huge thing that my twin flame did for me, and allowing me to participate as a soul in my divine destiny, and my soul purpose here on earth is to help you in this ascension process. And so it's been absolutely a phenomenal journey, and I'm sure you are having one too. And I hope that perhaps our paths may cross and I could be of assistance in yours. So anyway, that's about the role of the twin flame in the ascension process. Now, as far as the symptoms in the ascension process, there can be a slew of number of symptoms. And because there's a number of things going on here. One is we are changing physically. Okay, so our body, as we're rising in vibration, we're basically becoming less dense, if you will, and allowing the body to hold more light. And so there may be specifically certain symptoms you might be experiencing in terms of your body's adjustments to these higher vibrations, or the higher frequencies, or the faster frequencies, however you want to call it, where we can be less dense and hold more light, And it has a direct correlation also with how much work you do on a spiritual, emotional level to allow yourself to rise vibrationally by doing inner work and properly integrating the unresolved pain that you may be carrying, and allowing yourself to rise vibrationally that way, okay? And so we may be all experiencing it slightly differently, but there's a lot of different symptoms that we can experience. I'll just name a few of those. One of them is like different physical aches and pains we can go through, perhaps even headaches, and also we can feel tired, or we could experience sudden energy surges. But tiredness is very popular, especially if you're connecting with something unresolved in your past, because what this ascension and the vibrations as they're increasing are doing is they're actually bringing more and more your unresolved baggage to the surface, which is like the pain stuff that you keep carrying around with you. So it's kind of like dropping an Alka-Seltzer into some water and watching those bubbles come up to the surface. Well, that's what's happening vibrationally with all our unresolved pain, if you will, or pain experiences. And it's coming up to the surface in the form of body aches and pains sometimes, because of something that we are connecting with subconsciously that we need to resolve. Okay? That's why the doctors can't help you with that. Okay? You might experience some kind of achiness, and you go to the doctor and they'll tell you there's nothing wrong with you, because in essence there isn't. It's coming from the spiritual field, from a pain memory that needs to be resolved. Okay? And then there is the part of our resistance to resolving these pain memories that actually can cause more pain on our body. Okay? The more resistant we are to actually healing it. All right? So that can actually cause more friction and more difficulty for us processing these things. And some things may not just disappear on their own, okay? Sometimes we need a spiritual healer or somebody who understands how to go back into these pain memories, actually helping you resolve that with some deeper inner soul work, all right? Sometimes we can be stuck in certain patterns for many, many years and not rise, okay, and be in pain. And I've seen that happen too. So, know that there are possibilities, though, to relieve that if you're open to it. And if you understand that there are such things as people who help you who can help you spiritually heal and resolve these things, okay, on a spiritual level. And so the other symptom that you can be experiencing like is different emotional fluctuations of all of a sudden, you know, you've been enjoying, all of a sudden you're sad and, you know, you're crying and you don't know why, you know, or you know, you're suddenly depressed, okay? And that also has to do with connecting with the unresolved stuff that may be surfacing for you. There may be also, as you know, the high vibrations on the planet are bringing stuff more to the surface for you, is that all of a sudden you're experiencing more drama in your life, okay? You can be losing your job, you can be losing your lover, or you know, you can experience upheaval in your life, you know, different kinds of stresses, different kind of drama happening, you know, changes in relationships, and etc., etc. So, and know that also that is part of the ascension process and things that are actually surfacing for you that, you know, you need to be resolving, basically. It's very, very critical in this ascension process to resolve our karma. And I call karma also our unresolved issues. These are the unresolved pain memories we keep carrying around with us that need resolution. And if we don't give it that resolution, it keeps acting up on us, and that's what keeps rising to the surface for us to heal. So we're actually experiencing it in real life, you know, but you can actually circumvent that by engaging in your own healing journey and actually having an expert healer guide you through this process so that you don't have to keep living it. All right, you can either live the drama hoping that somewhere you're going to process something in the back of your head, or you can come see a spiritual healer that understands how to resolve these things and not have to live it. You can resolve it in a matter of hours, okay? So it's really up to you and where you're at and what you're open to. But, you know, the symptoms sometimes can be your own resistance to basically healing, all right? That can actually cause more pain in your body and in your emotions. Also, you can experience changes in sleep patterns. Because, again, in your sleep, your soul is processing things, okay, to a certain degree. So it may be that you're now processing more things because more things are rising to the surface for you, and it's affecting your sleep because you're processing more stuff in your sleep. You know, so that's a possibility. You also may need more sleep because you are tired, because all the internal work that you're trying to do, or your soul is connecting with your pain, and that doesn't mean necessarily you're healing it because you're connecting with it. But when you are connecting with your old unresolved pain on a subconscious level, you can experience extreme exhaustion. And it's kind of like riding a bicycle and not going anywhere, okay? Again, spiritual healing will help you resolve that. Or if you can disconnect, of course, from whatever is triggering that, you know, then you may experience some relief in about 3 days. It takes about 3 days to run through the symptoms. So it really depends, but again, know that there is something you can do about it, okay? The other change or shift or symptom may be that you are in the process of changing relationships, that the relationships you have are kind of on the negative side and you're no longer willing, say, to put up with it, all right? You've risen maybe a little bit in vibration, you're more concerned with your well-being, you know, and you are starting to, you know, old friends that have been there forever may be starting to drop off because of the difference in vibration. And there may be sadness for you there because of losses you've experienced in the past, because you're losing friends. But know that it's all for the better, because you're going to make new friends that are in higher vibration and so forth, you know. And also it would behoove you to perhaps, you know, heal whatever past losses you've had. And therefore, you know, any new losses aren't going to take you, or aren't going to be as intense, let's say. You're going to much easier recover. You're going to be faster with the grieving process of any loss. and so forth. It's really important to heal past losses. And you may think you're done with them, and I can guarantee you that you're not done with them. I've worked with a lot of people that have gone through past losses they thought they were done with, and they're not. There's huge pain still there. And that's what I'm talking about when I say the unresolved pain experiences. We carry those, we don't even know. Okay? And I'm talking even past lifetime stuff that you're not even aware of, you're carrying with you all the time still. So anyway, it would really behoove you, if you really want to make a difference for yourself in all this ascension stuff and actually be more at peace and feel lighter, feel better, get there quicker, if you will, with less pain and so forth. You would do yourself a favor to hire somebody like myself to help you in that journey, because it can be very painful when we're going through the unresolved stuff, especially when we're carrying lots of unresolved pain and we have lots of resistance to it. So anyway, just throwing that out there for you because it can make a huge difference. So another change or symptom of this whole ascension is the desire to perhaps change what your life work is. Okay, where before, I mentioned this before, where you may have been satisfied with just doing any kind of work to make a living, and you're making good living, but now all of a sudden it's not enough. Your soul wants more. It wants to fully express itself. It wants to do something that's meaningful to you, that expresses really who you are. You want to maybe help the planet or help people, or look at your divine gifts and really embrace them, and all of a sudden you're facing all this fear at the same time. Well, this is because you have to heal probably through a bunch of stuff before you can actually get to that point. All right, because we all have experienced pain around our gifts, around our expression of ourselves. People who punished us for when we spoke up, or when we lost our voice, or whatever it may have been. So there usually requires lots of healing to basically help you get to a point where it's okay to use your gifts, it's okay to embrace them, it's okay to step out. Recently I just was working with a client that has fear of stepping out into groups, or having supportive groups, and it was manifesting itself by her blocking the energy of being able to get into those groups, like even technology not working that works for everybody, or whatever the case may be. Spirit is all powerful, and we, whether it is our blocks that we create, or our success, our spirit is all powerful in all areas. Okay. And but yeah, changing our work, changing what we do, that has more to do with our soul purpose and our divine destiny, wanting to live that. I specialize in helping people do that. So if you really want to do that, connect with me. I would love to work with you. Also, another symptom may be that our sensitivity might increase to sound, to crowds, to our taste may change. We may be more sensitive to our taste. We may be more sensitive to our body, how our body feels, or to people, how other people feel to us. We may be more sensitive there. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. We can basically tell more of the nuances of different things. We are better listeners as we're basically more sensitive, which is a good thing. But at the same time, yes, we can, we may not appreciate crowds so much anymore, perhaps, or we may be too oversensitive to what people, how people act. But also understand that people can trigger us, and quite often we're actually experiencing our own stuff. So in other words, when people trigger us, which is a reminder of a pain memory in our past, and we subconsciously connect with that, we're actually riding the emotional wave of that pain memory and are re-experiencing the negative emotions that are stuck in it. And that doesn't mean we're experiencing the other person. It means we're experiencing our own self, except that the other person has triggered or reminded us of a certain pain memory we carry. So there's, I think, some confusion amongst the empaths out there in terms of what's their own stuff and what's somebody else's stuff. Because it sometimes can feel like it is other people who are causing that for us. And it's really not. It's really our own stuff that we're feeling. So anyway, there is an incredible amount of beauty and grace and wellness offered to us in these higher vibrations and new energies. But we have to offload our karma. We have to resolve our unresolved experiences. And we have to work on ourselves to be able to rise in that vibration. You know, it's the ascension process, ascension symptoms aren't a result of the direct light, I guess, or the higher energies that we're experiencing, but rather the higher energies are bringing up our lower vibrations, which are the unresolved issues we carry. And as it's bringing those up, that's when we need to heal them, and so that we can actually rise vibrationally ourselves. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that it helps you with some clarity around these symptoms and what you might be able to do about them. You know, sometimes we just have to be patient with ourselves. Other times it's important, like I say, to seek out a healer, somebody who can help you through that process much quicker as you're going. And especially if you're involved in a twin flame relationship, because twin flame relationships tend to speed that up even more, okay, because of their 100% mirror to each other and triggering each other on everything, okay? And so I know it sped up a lot of things for me that I would have never, you know, taken that road per se, I guess, by myself without my twin flame. And so it's really important that we seek sometimes help in regards to that. And, you know, I am here to do that. This is my divine destiny. This is my sole purpose, to help you. I have very thorough understanding of all of this. I have had some amazing results with people and continue to do that. I also teach quantum healing, past life regressions, how to work with the subconscious mind, the mirror effect. I teach the wisdom of the soul, or understanding, you know, how the soul works, because I find that to be the most critical items to any kind of healing process, is to really understanding the soul and how things work, more so than the modality. And so anyway, I teach that. I have established what I call Advanced Healers Academy, where I have set up different programs for different budgets, for different, you know, how fast you want to go. If you desire to learn this stuff, if you desire to actually help other people, I teach you how to work with other clients, as well as work on you, as well as help you work on you in terms of how to do the healing on yourself, so that you can continue your own growth and so forth. Anyway, all this is available through me at this moment. So if you have any interest in any of this, I would recommend get in touch with me through my website. It's thespiritualhealer.info. You can click on it on the top of the picture on my YouTube channel on the right hand corner, and connect with me through there and let me know. And I wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for liking it, and thanks for subscribing to my channel. And I love you guys. I will see you guys later.